listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour is out of our teen athletes. Woo! And all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Because I got the goosebumps all over me because I got to read this. Train insane. I love that. I got the boom in front of me. I had to turn my neck. I had to turn. He's back.
Erica.
Train insane.
People are clapping and they don't know why.
Yeah,
you understand that, right? How are you?
Coach Dayne. I don't know. Look,
I'm freaking out.
I got goosebumps. Coach Dayne.
It's been a couple years.
I know. It doesn't matter. I follow you.
I know.
Coach, it's never been. No, I'm training insane. Because I replaced my hip. I know that. Because I've been tagging you.
Yeah.
I'm the one that follows the heart. When you're on the beach in the morning, and the sun goes up. When I was doing my leg lifts, because I've been training insane. That's hi.
Wow, how are you?
I'm all right.
Oh my gosh, I'm not used to being the soft person in the room.
No.
Yeah.
No.
This is very new.
She was visualizing her healing too while she was going through.
I know. I want to make sure that titanium was good. I was hitting it while he was putting it in. Training insane. I was hitting him.
I know. Dude, I'm so excited to be here. The show is ridiculously successful.
Thank you.
Right when I left.
Thank you.
It just exploded.
That was
the point.
It's going to get bigger now because I think you want to come back.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to make titanium booms out of this. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Well, Alexandra, get down because we're training. Get down and do 20 push-ups. Yes, that's right.
Just
Put your hands together. Alexandra Marx is here in the house. And she brought somebody from Dartmouth. Well, it was unzipped. Dartmouth is here. What? It's a big school. What? Mark, Dartmouth.
It's actually Dartmouth.
Yay! That's a good school. Put your hands together. Thank God it was not
We just
zipped.
make our own schools.
Yeah, we like schools. Hi. Well, you have to stand now. Go next to Coach Dayne.
That's like producing you, like pronouncing UCLA USC. You know that, right? Like
oh my God.
calling
I thought it was Akla.
Akla. Exactly.
Akla.
That's right.
Akla. What? Okay, how you doing? Seriously, let's be serious.
This is crazy. I know it's radio and we don't have video in here. Maybe one day we'll stream live, right? But how many people are in this in the studio? The energy that we have buzzing in the studio. I wish we could show. I should live stream this actually. That would be really cool. The energy is ridiculous.
We have radio because it's not live stream.
Michelle Meyering, you gotta see who you are, pal.
Woo! Pal's in the house.
I should.
I'll do whatever you want. We don't care.
All right.
Handle it.
Handle it. Yeah. So what's on tap for today? You're looking at me with a dead stare. You're making me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's know so I know how to plan out this.
You don't need a mic.
I know. I can just project my voice.
I know. Oh, get on mic.
She doesn't recognize me. I just recognize who just walked in the door, Mr. David Marx's daughter. Oh my God!
She fell on the floor. Somebody pick up Alexandria.
She's watched my daughter many times. Look at she's like bright red.
Pick up. She's crying. Pick up Alexandria. Yes.
I've known her forever. I've known her since she was like in
Pick up. Get on the mic. Pick up.
Hello. I'm sorry.
I know. What?
Hi.
What? Does he coach your dad in tennis or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment. Yes. Yes. Obviously.
You're bright pink for our
I know,
viewing audience.
because I remember when Erica got me the book. Not the
How
book.
to Train Insane with Coach Dayne.
No. Wow.
The almanac.
Yes. And then in the back it had all of the co-hosts descriptions.
And
then I said, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that he was on. And she's like, yeah, of course he is. And
Coach Dayne, we need to give you a copy of the almanac.
I know. Yeah,
you're in our book.
There.
I forgot to tell you. We wrote a book, and of course you're in it.
It's crazy. What a small world.
Autograph,
Yeah. What a small world. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
This is great. We have a lot of people in here right now. A lot of time. We're going an hour and a half,
What you
right?
doing? Let's go. Reader's Digest.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I co-host a mastermind now in the morning, kind of group coaching. I do a podcast now, another co-host podcast.
Nice.
Hopefully, we'll be back here more often.
Nice.
Working with a lot of young athletes too, especially with the mental performance. Right, as we've always talked about, it's all just really have a passion. So I saw Anthony's video, his passion for kids. I've had a passion for helping young kids kind of develop from the physical to the mental, and the athletic world that I live in, that's the key.
Your slot Tuesday morning is opening, so
yeah.
that permanent. We like that permanent opening.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So all good, man. I'm super pumped to be back. Nice. The energy is. I miss the energy.
Open,
yes.
We love you. Nice. We're gonna shift over here to the left. We got Michelle Meyering in the house. Woo!
I know.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, my head's sort of coming back around.
We prayed for you.
Thank you.
Serious.
Yeah, running is a dangerous sport, man. I'm gonna have to start running with a helmet. No, I'm not. But
Serious.
no, PAL is summer. You think we would die off a little bit? We don't. I have boys and girls waiting at the door when we open at 3.
Tell us some of the programs you're running this summer.
We have, every day we're open for kids just to come. And I brought a guest, and he'll talk about some of the new programs we have because he's involved with them. But we still have the musicology every day. If you're into music, come down. You get 30 minutes of individual instruction, tutoring programs. So if you're in summer school or you are trying to get ahead for next year or you need some recovery work, we have tutoring. We have a couple reading groups, book clubs, a science club, and math club. We're going to have a jiu-jitsu clinic at Gracie Barra coming up. We're going to have a gymnastics clinic. So we're going to have the painting workshops. So we're busy. When we walked down here, there was probably at least 20 kids already in the teen center. We opened 15 minutes before I left. So it's good stuff.
Awesome. So your summer hours again are?
From 3 to 6:30. Yeah. Same as always.
Nice.
Sweet. Put your hands together. Nice. I love it. We also have in back of me, because some of us are standing, and I apologize, but Anthony doesn't care. We got Anthony Rodriquez in the house. Woo! Yeah.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm blessed to be here.
All right, so what's going on with you?
Well, we have actually a really cool event that we actually are doing at the Goleta Valley Community Center, and we're actually reaching out to teens, and hopefully that they'll be able to participate in this event. It's a huge deal for the community center, and we want to do it because we want the kids to be more involved. We want them to have something positive to do, and so we're really, really looking for some teens to help us out with this mural. And actually, you know the artist, Barbara Eberhardt.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's gonna have free classes for the teens to be able to see from the very beginning to the very end of the mural.
Nice.
And it's we want them to be a part of this. This is we're calling it the Corazón de Goleta, the heart of Goleta.
Wow. Nice. When does this happen?
Well, actually, we are looking for some artists right now, and they don't even have to be artists. Just teens that are really want to be dedicated to something, and we want them to be part of something.
Nice.
We want them to have a good feeling about what they do and what they can do, and maybe they don't even know that they can do this.
I know. What time are you working on this project?
Actually, Joe?
Actually, yes, we are starting on it right now. We started working on the wall, getting it prepared. We're really lucky because we had a contractor here in Santa Barbara, Ray Guerrero and Sherwin Williams, who've donated the paint and the labor and all the work to get this thing ready to go. And hopefully by mid-July, we'll be painting.
Awesome.
So we just need some students. We've only had one applicant so far, and we've tried doing some social outreach, but
do some social outreach to PAL.
Yeah,
we will.
Yeah, Michelle at sbpal.org, and I'll get it to the right person.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
And not only will they, learn how to make a mural from start to finish, and they'll have those skills for life, but they'll get community service hours, and hopefully, it'll encourage other people in Old Town Goleta to come up with some other ideas and get some more public art going. Art and education is hugely important, as you know.
Absolutely.
And we're just behind this 100%.
What ages are you looking for?
We're looking for high school age students. We're trying to concentrate 16 to 18-year-olds so that they can kind of get themselves there. But if somebody's talented or dedicated and they can do it, come on over and apply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grab us the application. We'll put it up on Teen Sports Radio, Facebook, YouTube, the whole thing. We'll blow it up.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll be
Definitely.
happy
PAL can too.
Happy
Yeah,
to.
definitely. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Put your hands together for that. All right. Dominique.
Good morning, Erica.
We saw Dominique has been like down with like a little bug, and anytime Dominique is like really down, so I had to break with because she's my BF. So she loves those English movies, but I have to say, this is more of an adult movie, so for the adult more past high school, I would say. But there was a really good movie that we clicked into, and like I say, I have to say, I'm not really into the whole English thing, but whatever. But a very English Scandal, I have to say, was a good adult movie. So for the adults out there that are watching, okay, Alexandria, you can watch it.
You're promoting adult movies right now?
Yeah, no.
On a
not
Teen
like
Sports
that.
Radio, for real?
Like that,
Oh.
but it was a good movie.
All right, so it's a piece of history.
History.
Historical.
True story.
Oh,
True
okay.
story.
Yeah. And it did a very good job of walking through 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, the impression of our gay and lesbian community in more of an international setting and specifically in England. And it kind of tracks through based on a true story, something that happened in England. And so it was very well done, Hugh Grant, and I highly recommend it for a good conversation.
Was a very well done movie. I was shocked, actually, with the whole British accent and that whole thing. I don't really, gravitate to it, but I laughed, and it was very well done. So, yeah, I want to put my 2 cents in there. What?
It was heartfelt.
It was heartfelt. Yeah, it was good. Scandal, the whole thing. It was very scandalous.
Walking into, you said adult movie.
Yeah. Train Insane!
The show has changed.
We've grown. The show has grown. They're all used to me now. Ever since you left, I had to pick up, all right, the gauntlet. Yeah, I see the smushing. And Alexandria, we're going to lead off with you on the next segment, okay? Because you're standing behind the producer. I got the 2 thumbs up. We had to pick you up when you saw the train overturned the Insane.
She's so adult now.
She's grown, isn't she? She's awesome. We love her. All right, let's take a break. Erica Salda, we got some new commercials for you. We'll be right back after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right, Alexandria Marx.
I'm in the house.
That's it.
Thank you.
I didn't forget you. Berkeley.
Yeah. So exciting.
Yeah, you're not all dressed up today, so what, dude? Judge Hill didn't need you today?
No, he did. I just go casual now.
Casual Thursday.
It's casual.
Prior to Felony Friday.
Yeah.
It was actually a misdemeanor Thursday today.
Yeah. We do the Felony Tuesdays today, so that's exciting.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so I have a guest with me today, finally, for once, and it's Miss Jenny Rhodes.
Okay.
Let's give a hand for her.
Oh, thank you.
And so basically, I indirectly knew Jenny through mutual friends. She went to Dos Pueblos.
Okay.
Dos Pueblos.
We just discovered today we were at the same birthday party 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Wow.
It was a shocker.
Snapchat. You saw a picture?
No, we were discussing, and throwing some teen lingo in there. It's a teen sports radio. And
I'm just sorry.
we're having side combo. Okay, so anyway, so we did mock trial together throughout high school. We were on opposing teams, obviously. San Marcos, Dos Pueblos, big rivalry there. Big rivalry. And then she graduated.
You guys should have your own show.
I know.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about misdemeanor.
So all the interesting things. And now we're
rivalries.
Yeah, exactly. And now we
I
are
like it.
I know.
I would listen.
We're on top of each other. We are now interning with Judge Hill. I talked about this last week on our last segment. How important it is to get out there and get involved. And I brought Jenny over because she's done a lot of things throughout high school. She's at an Ivy League institution.
Nice.
Dartmouth.
Nice.
So I know that can be a really important topic of discussion, especially for those who are entering their senior year, but just in general, what types of things she did in high school just so she felt prepared for college, how she kind of got into that as someone who is entering college. That's also a really important topic for me to be thinking about.
What were your other Ivy, if I may ask? Jen. Can I call you Jen?
Sure.
Okay.
You can call me whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, well, you're in the Ivy League school, So was that your only Ivy League school that you applied for, or did you get into others, or was that just your pick?
I applied to every one of them except for Columbia because my dad lives in New York City and I did not want to be in the same vicinity as him.
So raw. I love it. Because I'm from New York, so this is so awesome. Okay, go ahead.
So I ended up getting into Dartmouth and Penn, but I've wanted to go to Dartmouth since I was 7.
Nice.
So that's where I ended up.
Nice. Beautiful.
So I just want you to touch on your experience with sports. I know you played tennis in high school and mock trial and other activities that you were involved in and how those kind of impacted your high school experience.
So I think everything that I was a part of, tennis, mock trial, I was on the programming team at the Engineering Academy at Dos Pueblos. I was president of the Women in Technology Club, but everything I was in really taught me how to work with others and be part of a team and how important people skills are, because it's not what you know in the end, it's who you know. And I found that to be true, ironically not related to school, I was invited to Taylor Swift's album release party in the fall and got to meet Taylor Swift, but it was because I have a mutual friend with her who's a photographer, and my friend who's a photographer got to listen to Taylor's album before it came out, and my photographer friend talked to Taylor about me, and Taylor's like, oh, I'm going to invite her to my album release party in a few weeks. So it's really not about what you know, it's about who you know, and connections are just so important, and going out in your community and meeting new people and helping each other is just so important, I think.
I've got a question for both of you. I noticed that your vocabulary is really good. Would you recommend for people who are trying to go for the Ivy League and so forth, really stress on learning vocabulary and so forth? Does that help you out? Because I know that if you can speak a certain language, that helps you get to know the people that you need to know.
Yes. So yes and no. I studied vocabulary a lot, especially for the SAT when I took the old one, since it used to be vocabulary heavy, but then it stopped being vocabulary heavy. So if you're just doing it for the test scores, I would say don't stress on vocabulary. But if you want to become a more eloquent speaker and be able to talk to people, which is so incredibly important, not just for college, but in life, for jobs, to meet friends, to meet anyone, to be able to hold a conversation and not talk with a slew of likes and ums. And especially going to a school on the East Coast, there was a lot of Valley girl stereotypes, especially because I'm from Southern California. So I strive to eliminate like from my, or like totally, like literally, like oh my god, from my vocabulary as much as I could to eliminate that stereotype. What do you think?
I would just say that with mock trial, I know that my coaches heavily stressed not using any of those words in my vocabulary. I didn't ever necessarily study vocab unless it was for an English test or, you know, that type of situation. But putting yourself in situations where you have to present yourself publicly and it's normally a stressful situation in any form, I think is very useful, just because you learn how to carry yourself. So that, I think, is how I developed a vocabulary. And what I found it more useful for is when I'm holding conversations and interviews for different college programs. Like I interviewed for several scholarships at Berkeley, and when I was doing my interview at Claremont McKenna, etc. And all of the skills that I've developed through my different public speaking opportunities really helped me in those situations.
So you guys are avid readers, or do you practice speech? Do you take a lot of communication classes? Because they're really good speakers.
I would have been fired.
Yeah. Man, I'm a dog. I'm road pizza. But I work that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
roast pizza, my favorite kind of pizza.
I know, like, right?
I think I would attribute it to mock trial. We both participated in mock trial, and our coaches I had to do pre-trial this past year, and you're just speaking with a judge who's grilling you on questions for up to an hour. So you can't use any colloquial language, otherwise they'll notice
Say
it and
what?
dock you.
Crushed.
So I think those types of situations really prepared me.
Can we talk about the stress of what it takes to, like, whether it's an Ivy League or, Berkeley? Sorry, I'm a UCLA fan. Sorry. I work with a lot of young athletes, right? And they start stressing over college, and parents start stressing over college, like in preschool. Mm-hmm. So would you say, leading up to this, was it super intentional that you wanted to lead, like that you wanted to go into an Ivy? Did it kind of just manifest organically? Like, what kind of advice would you give the young people coming up looking for that next level college? As they start preparing in 6th grade, 7th grade, or just kind of let it happen?
So for me, I was basically born into like a Harvard sweatshirt. My parents wanted me to go to an Ivy League since I was 1 year old. And then when they saw that I had the potential, and academic potential to achieve that goal, I think they pushed it even harder. Right. And neither of them went to an Ivy League. Or my mom went to Pomona and my dad went to a small Catholic college in Minnesota. So when that dream of theirs manifested into my dream, and it became something that I worked towards. It wasn't to please them. It was something that I wanted. But
when did you know? Like, when did you just know this was happening versus
that I could get into an Ivy League?
That you would.
That I would. When I opened the acceptance letter and it's like, congratulations. I did not believe that I could get in, just because it's like throwing darts at a wall, whether they like you or not. Right. But what age you should start preparing? I'd say if it's really what you want to do, then just worry about learning as much as you can.
That's huge.
And just learning for the love of learning and because you're passionate about it. And then you can start thinking about it once you're in high school, and you can start looking at the clubs you're interested in and how you can be leaders in your community and leaders within your school. And I think that's what colleges look for, is leadership and passion about participating in clubs and taking classes that you love. And it's not just to get into a school like that.
Parents, are you listening?
Definitely.
Learning.
Learning for the sake of learning.
Hey, let's close on that. Very well put. I'm very proud. Here you go. Yep. Take a break. It's Erica Salda. Stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right, we're going to go to the next guest, but Anthony wanted to close off with something from the last section.
Just actually one thing that I do tell my kids, no matter what, that people can take away your money, they can take away your car, they can take away your house, but one thing they can never take away from you is what you learn. And when you learn something, you take it as far as you can go and don't stop. So that's one thing. I mean, I didn't finish high school, but let me tell you, one thing is knowledge, and knowledge is power. And when you've got that, just don't let it go. Because no matter how hard it is, you can do it. We all learn different, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're individuals, and even if it's hard, you know what? It'll be worth the fight. So just keep it up.
Anthony Rodriquez. I love you. I love you too. Yeah, you took a different path. Look where you ended up, right here.
Yeah, that's right.
In my backyard next week. A little barbecue next week. Coach Dayne, you're invited.
Hey, I was like crying. I didn't get the invite. Whatever.
I'm inviting you right now. No, it's true. I got the baby backs in the carts. Bought them on sale. Smart and Final. I'm just saying. All right, in the house. Put your hands together. We got Anais. Santa Barbara High School. A little birdie told me we got a little lacrosse player in the house. First female. Pretty exciting to get a college scholarship. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's big news.
Oh, yeah.
That's big news.
Yeah.
I looked at you and I'm like, basketball all day.
Yeah, I did play for 4 years in high school.
Yeah, you had a pretty darn good basketball team in those last 4 years at Santa Barbara, too.
Oh, yeah,
well.
we did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You killed it.
So you're in college?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. I just graduated.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just needed the reference.
She just jumps in because she works for Judge Hill. Objection! Okay, I was just saying. All right, so let's start with let's start, for the last 4 years. Let's start from the beginning. So all the sports you played at Santa Barbara High School. So where'd you go?
So I started off playing basketball. I started freshman year and played all 4 years. I also started playing lacrosse freshman year. And then junior year and senior year, I did cheer for only football season.
Nice.
Yeah. And then all throughout my 4 years, I've been in ASB, and I was lucky enough to end my senior year as ASB president.
Right.
So
like lacrosse, that's something a little different. So did they find you, or did you just happen to like, oh, I want to try that?
Well, my freshman year, they canceled the softball season, and I played softball for so long before high school, and I was really looking forward to playing softball. But since they canceled the season, I decided to look for something else and just try something new. And I remember when I was 10, maybe seeing a lacrosse game. It was boys lacrosse, so I was expecting something completely different. So I just decided, I talked to my mom and I was like, can we maybe try lacrosse? And so I went out to the coach, and it was probably the best decision I've ever made to do lacrosse.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So a little tricky in the beginning, or did you just pick it up naturally? Or well, if you have basketball, I don't know. I think girls basketball, if you could play basketball, you could. I mean, that's a cross training. I mean, to so many different sports.
Yeah. So lacrosse is very similar to a lot of sports. It's a combination of hockey, soccer, basketball, and I think that's it. But my skills for basketball actually helped me a lot in lacrosse, because I ended up going in as a goalie.
Yeah, there you go.
But I transitioned to a defender, which I excel in basketball as a defender. And playing lacrosse as a defender helped me also in basketball. It was kind of like a flip-flop thing that went around. And my coach actually just was really supportive of me just going in, not knowing anything, and she helped me out a lot, and I picked up the sport probably in a couple months.
Nice.
Just in time for season.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you get picked up on, I mean, as far as the colleges? Like, I mean, did you do well? I mean, because I didn't follow Santa Barbara as far as how well did you did. I mean, did you play in tournaments as well? And who saw you, and how'd that all work out for you?
Well, actually, once I started playing lacrosse freshman year, I but I decided to play in a club team with Paul Ramsey and SBGLA. After I played club there, I realized that lacrosse is what I wanted to pursue in college, and I ended up playing in another club team in LA, and their team is called Scream, and there I did a lot of tournaments with them, and they're recruiting tournaments. So the biggest tournament, I think it's Sandstorm. Yeah, Sandstorm, and it's in January, and it's in Palm Springs. And for that tournament, they give you a really long list of all the college coaches that are going to be there, and you can email coaches that you know you're interested in their school so that you can tell them to come watch you play. So I remember being in contact with Colorado State Pueblo, and I told them what my schedule was, and they actually came out to a few of my games, which was really cool, but also very nerve-wracking to play knowing you have potential coaches watching you. Yeah.
That's where you have to be mental strong.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And that's basically how it all happened.
So this is a case where the club team is what propelled you into your college scholarship.
Oh, yeah. Considering Santa Barbara isn't known for lacrosse, and, well, California isn't known for lacrosse at all, being on a club team definitely helps you get the exposure that you need. And for any sport, I think if you're trying to play that sport in college, I suggest going on a club team to get you the exposure that you need.
Awesome. And since we always call our everyone a student athlete, what's your academic goals in college?
Well, I'm majoring in computer information systems, and the reason I chose that major was because my freshman year I started off in the Computer Science Academy at Santa Barbara High School, and it definitely gave me a solid transition into what major I wanted to do, because it gives you different types of computer science. It gives you the mathematical side, the art side, and then just the simple concepts of it.
You're going to laugh, but that was my major. Computer information systems. Yep. Wow. I always call myself a consultant of computer information systems analysis because it takes into account user interface as well as the science of the data getting inputted.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you're here because you're an example of going from going from some struggle, right? Like your softball kind of went away and you were kind of left with that. Now what? Then you fell in love with it. Then you made a goal. Then you probably had a vision somewhere down the line of I want to play college level. And then you made it happen. I mean, it's incredible when we have an athlete come in and we talk to athletes that actually achieve that athletic scholarship, because most are just talking about it, right? Like whether it's D1, D2, NAIA, D3, I mean, you understand that you're in less than 2% of people that are talking, right? So a lot of young athletes are listening to you right now. I work with a ton of athletes that are all saying, I want the scholarship, and I want. But you are a prime example of you don't get what you want
without
you get what you work for.
Yeah.
Can you kind of speak on how you take, this is what I want, to maximizing and aligning with this is like what I'm getting now? Like what kind of work did that take? Because everybody thinks like success is sexy, but it's sweaty, right? It's not about what you want, it's what you're willing to do for it. Can you kind of speak on that before we break?
Well, my mom actually helps a lot of student athletes at Santa Barbara High School, and I know one of her biggest focuses is that you can't expect to go D1 straight off the bat.
Right.
No matter where you come from, you can't just expect to go straight to Division 1. If that is really what you want, you have to know the standards that it has and all of the requirements in order to get it done. You have to take certain classes, and a lot of student athletes don't know that going into the idea of, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. There's a lot of requirements for it that you don't really understand. There's different systems, and it's just all very confusing. But if you know what you want to do and you have that goal, reach out to figure out what you need to do in order to get there. Because you can't just go in with no eyes and just expect to get a great outcome.
Right.
And coaches are so important.
Yeah. And sometimes the smaller schools are a better fit. Depending upon because my daughter played, she was D1 volleyball, but she was at a smaller school. So it was for volleyball, it was a much better fit for her than a D1 big school.
And they had money, which is nice. Help you with scholarships and whatnot. Great. We're so proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're proud of your effort.
Yes.
Amazing. Good efforts. You didn't quit. That's awesome. We took advantage of the opportunities that we were presented with. That's fantastic. Let's take a break. All right. Fill up your coffee. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Guess what? Because you hurt your head. You go next. Michelle
you.
Meyering. Yay!
Back with PAL. I know I have with me today one of our outstanding youth leaders, Eddie Lugo.
Woo! Eddie Lugo!
I know. I'm going to switch mics
Love
here.
Eddie. If I had another son, I was going to name it Eddie.
Oh, thank you.
Because it has an E in it. No, it does, seriously.
Yeah.
It has multiple E's. No, because see, I wear one right around my neck, see?
Oh,
Because
cool.
I need this to go to someone in case I die. But it's not going to you. No, I'm just kidding.
That face.
No, it's mean.
I know.
I know.
So,
Go ahead.
when did you, first of all, what school are you at?
I'm currently a junior at San Marcos High School.
Nice. Woo! What? What?
I know. And when did you start with PAL?
With PAL? Well, I actually started when I was in elementary school. I went with Judith Lugo, who I think is the executive director.
No, I'm the executive
Oh,
director.
no, sorry.
She's the
Program director. Yeah.
Close. She does run it, let's be real.
I signed up for a couple of summer camps with her as I think second grade. And then from there, I went on to be a little PAL for this group called YLC, Youth Leadership Council.
Little pal.
Yeah. And from there, I just started going to the teen center more often. I needed help with homework, and they were like, oh, we got tutors. Come on by, stop by. We're open they used to be open from 3 to 7, I believe, and then they kind of cut it short a little bit to 3 to 6:30. But I'm okay with it. I don't know. I still get my work done. And from there, I became a freshman at San Marcos, and I joined the Youth Leadership Council. And when I started off, 3 months in, I became the treasurer of the Youth Leadership YLC.
Nice. Boy.
Yeah. And then I had to take a break last year because I had fall session at Santa Barbara City College. I was doing psychology, and it was on Wednesdays only, but I couldn't make it to YLC, and I was kind of devastated. I really wanted to go. And I came back right after that session finished, and I came back strong.
He came back real strong. He walked in the teen store, and everybody's like, Eddie!
Yeah.
It's like Norm, you know.
Can you speak to having high school students be at City College? How did you feel taking the class there?
At first, it's really, really scary because it's like you're not used to the setting. It's like a lot of people are older than you, and especially since it's a night class, there's like a lot of adults that are kind of like in their 40s, 50s. You're like, whoa, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
No, you're okay. And so it's like, well, you're like the youngest one there. I was like 15, and it's like a bunch of like 40s, 50s, some college students that that don't really want to be there. They just want to get their credits and leave. Whereas like I'm there because like I want to pursue a dream in the medical field, and I wanted like, hey, this is kind of what am I gonna like what am I gonna learn today that I want to take home with me and you like apply to life. And it's kind of difficult because you can't really get help, but they do have help. Like for example, they have tutoring at CC.
You're really a well-spoken young man as well.
Thank you.
Nice.
But yeah, there's also
Speaks better than I do.
there was this what's her name? Elvia
Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez. She also took psychology at CC, and the tutors at PAL also took psychology, so they were able to help me out whenever I needed help.
Here's a funny question. Where'd you sit when you went in the classroom?
Oh, in the very back.
Okay. I also did classes when I was 15 and a half. I did it at Chaffey Community College. I can make a recommendation to you. The next class you take, you sit in the very front.
Yeah.
And you be proud and you own it.
Thank you.
Handle it.
I will.
That's right.
And
You got this.
okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, what else?
I know. Well, we just had a big camp.
Oh yeah, we just had a big camp called Cops and Kids, and it's a really great camp for people to go to. Well, I see it usually just because like gets first picked, but it's a leadership camp, and you get to practice on skills that you need, like for example, public speaking. We go and we kind of like do improv, and we need to kind of I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Well, you do leadership building exercises,
leadership,
problem solving.
Leadership, and problem solving. And it's really fun because then you get a bond while doing the leadership skills with your friends. So it's like you kind of discover a friend, like a side of your friend that you never knew. Like, oh, wow, I never knew he was this kind of person. And he gets like, there's like a good side and how to like, you got to learn people more and more and more and deeper. Especially since you go into cabins and you like talk about things that you don't really talk about at school. You get into like deep conversation. Sometimes it gets really dark. Other times it gets like, oh wow, that's kind of funny, and it's like, it's a miracle. Yeah.
And there's cops there.
Oh, and there's cops, obviously. Yeah.
That'd be good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Sometimes we have to make sure the cops are good. They're crazy and competitive.
Yeah, they are. Especially Officer Brian Kerr. He's really competitive.
Called him out by name.
Wow. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. Yeah. So what's in store for you at PAL in the coming year?
Well, this year I got elected as treasurer again, so I'm kind of pretty hyped up for that. Got to deal with fundraising, and I'm also going to be doing the what is it?
Teen Fit.
Teen Fit. This summer I'm doing the Teen Fit, where Mondays we go swimming and Wednesdays we just go work out, use weights, kind of build muscle, and. I'm only able to attend Mondays because I work Wednesdays, but swimming, I feel like it's for everyone. You have a certain goal. For example, you want to swim faster, or you just want to learn how to swim, period, and they can help you with that. They adjust to you, and if like you're scared to go, they just make you comfortable. And a lot of people, like in the beginning, you're just kind of nervous. Some people know each other, so that's kind of like their group, kind of like a clique, and then there's like another group that's like the ones kind of like they don't know what to do. It's their first time there, and eventually you just kind of just bond together as one, and you guys have fun. Nice. And it's like a great experience for everyone.
Great. Super nice. Great. Nice. All right, we got one more section. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Team. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right, so we got this. I don't know. It's like a soul. We have this soul connection.
I know, we're
Anthony.
homies,
I know we are. We've got a different life or something. I don't know. So anyway, when Anthony Rodriquez, even though he's a newbie co-host, when he hands me something and he asks for help, I got to reach out to Santa Barbara. So I don't often do this, but we've got to help Anthony, and we've got to help this community, because we are a big community, and we've gone through a lot as a community, but this is a project, and I'm going to hand it over to Anthony, and we're going to come together, because anytime we do as Santa Barbara together, we kick it out of the, we knock it out of the park. So Anthony, I'm going to give you the mic. We're going to talk about this.
Well, it's a huge, huge project, and we're very, very excited over there at the Goleta Valley Community Center. And this project is basically from the heart. I mean, and the project that we call it the El Corazón de Goleta, which is the heart of Goleta. And basically, when the idea came up, which I'm actually going to introduce Joe Merritt, which is an amazing person, and has been just an amazing person for me in general, and has helped me through so much. And she's got an amazing heart, and that's where a lot of this has come through, and ideas. And I'm going to let her talk about the mural, because we're both very passionate. I'm really excited about it, but we're both heading for the kids.
Absolutely. I know we've talked a lot about sports today, and teamwork, and bonding and camaraderie, and this is going to be just the same sort of thing. It's just going to be an art team instead of a baseball team or a lacrosse team or a basketball team. But we're hoping to get as many students as we can who'd like to participate in painting this mural. It's going to be a 230-foot landscape right next to the community center in Goleta. The other side of the wall is Alfie's restaurant that's just reopened after having been burned. And we want to get people in here who need a place to go for the summer, something to do that's very, productive and giving back to the whole community. We want to create this so that other people in the community know that art's important, art and education is important, and that this gives people something to look forward to and make things more vibrant.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing, the main focus that we were thinking about is having these teens come together. The teens, mean a lot to us, and especially to me. I mean, I didn't have anybody to back me up when I was younger, and I got myself in a lot of trouble. So, with the ideas of everybody at the community center, which I love working there, it's been amazing. That's what our focus is trying to get a lot of these teens to be part of something that is good and positive. And you don't have to be an actual artist or professional to be able to be part of it. If you want to be part of something, then, reach out to us. Let us know. We want you to be a part of this. This is a community event, not only community, but this is family, and we want these kids to have something positive to look forward to. I mean, they're going to get classes done, be taught how the project actually starts from the beginning all the way to the end. And that's what we want. We want them to grow together. We want them to do team building as well as like they do in sports. And we just want it to be a family affair.
Well, it gives teens something to own. It will give them, to drive down the street and say, that is me.
I mean, murals last for decades, and you're going to be able to point to the mural and say that you participated in it. And don't be afraid if you're not an artist. If you look at this and say, wow, I want to be part of this project, it's amazing. Putting murals up is accessible to anyone who wants to participate. You don't have to worry about being an artist, just wanting to be a part of a team.
I think a lot of people think they're not artists until they start doing something. And I think everybody's an artist. Everybody's an artist. Everybody has something that they want to express.
Long ago, there was the Olympics in Los Angeles, and a good friend of mine, participated with the California Conservation Corps. They went around painting murals. I mean, it is a beautiful thing to do for a city to participate in building the mural.
And I think talking on that fear, I think if because you guys took that right out of my mouth. Like, what about the kids who are saying, I can't even draw a stick figure? What do you mean I'm going to do a mural? If one person comes out that can't do it, and another person comes out that can't do it, and another person, it creates this compound interest of courage, right? And so it's not just about you. Everybody thinks, right, it's just me. But most people are thinking and feeling the exact same way you are, right? Like, this isn't for me. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. And so if we can come together as a community, right? Because one, right, creates two, which creates 20, like, That's how stuff gets done. So again, to that fear point, like this is what life is all about, just in general, right? Feeling that fear. And, you know, we're going to get, and punching it in its freaking mouth.
I like it. I heard a saying, can't lives on won't street.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, St. Anthony, I mean, you are like the king of, struggle and fighting through that struggle and not knowing where to go and how to do it and your past and all the fears. Like, how do you communicate that emotional connection between fear and overcoming it, right? And how do you speak to that? How do you speak to our kids that are listening and saying, dude, I just can't? What do you say to them?
You know what? When people tell you can't, show them you can.
Yeah.
You know, don't give up, because if I would have given up, which I'm not going to lie, I was at that point.
Yep.
But someone does believe in you, and if there's nobody around you, then I believe in you, and I don't want you to give up, because this is something that we can do this, we can handle it, and you're not going to do it alone.
Right.
We never do things alone, so please don't give up, and if you feel down, then you know what, just remember me, and then we'll get back up together.
Awesome. So. Love it.
I'm really excited to see Alexandria join me and everybody on the Team Sports Radio team. Michael Baker, I sent you an email, and I've also texted you, and I'm going to be mailing this to your home address. So he'll be there, along with all the United Goleta team at United Boys and Girls Club. So,
And you're going to send it to PAL.
it's already sent.
Oh, awesome.
It's sent to everybody. I blew it up. Santa Barbara, we need you out there. God bless you. See you next week.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.